And good evening, good afternoon, good morning, or wherever you are joining us from all over the world. This is Dr. Okwebanwo at Jakpa Without Tears, or U.S. Immigration Clinic, or simply Immigration Clinic on Law FM 103.9. You are welcome to another exciting episode where we are going to be sharing with you some of the best principles for those of us who want to jackpot and some of the issues before you jackpot and why you are jackpotting and all that. We will be discussing it on this show just to make sure that if you have to leave, you leave on the right note with the right type of preparation. And that maybe for some of you, maybe it's not even time to jackpot yet. Maybe looking at your circumstances, your best option might be to stay and grow Nigeria as it is. I do not know and I do not pass judgment on your decision. But what I want is if you are going to be doing it, do it right, do it in a way that will make your country proud, do it in a way that you'll be able to come back and go as you want, do it in a way that you'll be able to work when you get in there. So that way you are not just getting stranded, or do it right where you have the right papers, not just get a visa, then get in there and you are then become an illegal alien running up and down. You want to go with the right type of visa. And you also want to know about some of the questions about your decision to ultimately jackpot. So please, as you are listening to us on 103.9 FM, the number one law station in Nigeria, where they cover every area of law for those of us who are interested in knowing what is going on as far as the law is concerned. There is no other radio station like 103.9 Law FM. They talk about every area of law, breaking news about the law, new judgments in court, entertaining parts of the law, even the spiritual side about how to pray and how to get better with your life on a daily basis. Every area, as long as it has to do with law, you will find it on Law FM 103.9. So I'm excited to be hosting a special program on this amazing radio station, and my program is called Immigration Clinic with Okwebanwo. I love to call it Jackpot Without Tears because that is a very catchy phrase for me. So tonight we are going to be discussing one of those amazing visas that can get you out there in a way that is respectable and that is easier for you to be able to get. For those who know me, I talk more about the esoteric visas that a lot of people have not heard about. So we're going to be sharing another one today that is probably even more available to a wider audience. Some of my types of visas that I discuss are for specific people and limited in scope. We've talked about the H-1B. We've talked about the L-1 visa. We're going to be talking about the EB-2 and all those visas in the coming weeks. But today we are going to be talking about the J-1 for online to the US. Where is my clip here? I wanted to put it over. Today we are going to be talking about the J-1 visa to the US. Let me put it in there. J-1 visa to the USA. And that's it's an exciting visa. I really like it because it presents a whole different paradigm to many of us who have thought that there is no other way they can get themselves to the US from some of the visas I've been discussing. So pay a close attention to me tonight. If wherever you are listening and you want to make your notes, and be sure, please, to write down your questions or to put it on the chat of the Law FM 103.9, wherever you are listening to this. They have a website. You want to go to their website or their social media account. If you are listening to this on social media, put your questions in there or email it to them. And every once in a while, I do a Q&A session where I actually take all the questions sent in by everybody. So today we are going to be talking about the J-1 visa to the US. Of course, when you are saying J-1 visa, the first question is, what exactly is the J-1 visa? But before we go in there, I want to remind you, if you would like to book a one-on-one call with me for a one-hour one-on-one discussion about your specific situation, you want to go to okwebanwo.net so that we can have a one-on-one video consultation on Zoom so that I can discuss your specific situation. It might be about this J-1 visa. It might be about another type of visa, or it might even be about something to do with you already in country and you have some challenges. Maybe you are in deportation proceedings, or you want to apply for asylum, or you want to do stuff that has to do with becoming a permanent in the US, especially I practice in the US. Book an appointment with me at okwebanwo.net. It is scrolling at the bottom for those of you who might be watching the video recording of this later on. So let's get to it. What exactly is the J1 visa to the US? Some of you are probably hearing of it for the very first time. Some of you already know what it is. But the J1 visa is a non-immigrant visa issued by the USA government, or call it the USA Immigration, to research scholars, professors, and exchange visitors participating in programs that provide cultural exchange, especially for those who want to obtain training in things to do with medical or business training in the US. The operative word there is business training, because that encompasses more people. But also for those in the medical profession who want to get more training in the US. For me, it is an amazing. I'm going to put I'll go over what is the J1 visa again for those of you who might be just joining us. All right, it's a visa issued to research scholars, professors, and exchange visitors participating in programs that promote cultural exchange. Those are the keywords there, especially those cultural exchanges to obtain medical or business training within the US. And the primary purpose of the J1 visa or the J1 visa program is to promote international cultural exchange, allowing participants to experience American culture and share their own culture too with Americans. So it's a cultural exchange kind of thing in a training format. So this fosters mutual understanding and global connections. Okay, so and typically J1 visa programs are sponsored by universities, private sector, and even government programs. And later on in this program, I'm going to be talking about how you can get some of the programs that actually get you this J1 visa, so that any one of you can just go in there as you are listening to me. You can go apply, you can go check them out. For all you know, you may just qualify, because this is one of those visas that is not over particular about your level of education and all that. So as we go on, you're going to learn more about it. So I think the next thing, now that you know what a J1 visa is, that is a visa that is for cultural exchange and is tied to training in the US. So the question then is, what exactly is the purpose? And I think I mentioned that before, but I'd like to repeat myself so that you can understand well. The aim of the program is to promote cultural exchange and mutual understanding through education and professional exchanges. That is the purpose of the program. That's why the US government set it up many years ago, to promote cultural exchange and mutual understanding through educational and professional exchanges. I'm going to be sharing with you in a few minutes some of those programs out there that you can go check out right now if you're interested in coming to the US through this special type of visa that is called J1 that is available out there. Remember, you are watching this, or you are listening and watching this through Law FM 103.9, the number one law station in Nigeria. So join them every week, or join me every week for a new episode of Immigration Clinic with Dr. Okwebanwo. We come in every week, every Saturday on this amazing radio station. And of course, the recording is also available on their site. And of course, please make your notes, make your comments on their chat, so that we can respond to this for you. Before we go into some of the individual programs that can help you to get this visa in the US, because obviously that is the next question in everybody's mind. How do I get what program? I know how this thing goes, right? Too much English. Can you just give me the programs where I can go and apply? But before we go there, it's important for you to get the background. Why is this J1 visa? Why is it a great option for visa for you who qualifies? Because there's no point going to bombard those people if you don't even know whether you're qualified or not. So we're going to quickly take those questions. Why is the J1 visa a great option for those who want to get visas to the US? Why is it a great option? I'm going to cover that quickly for you so that you have the basis for that. Why is it such a great visa for those who want to get? There are several reasons why this is a compelling. Well, there are several compelling reasons why applying for J1 visa is considered a very favorable option for those who want to jackpot the right way, those who want to migrate to the US. Number one, it's a cultural exchange program. The primary purpose of the visa is to promote international cultural exchange, allowing participants to experience American culture and share their own culture with Americans. This fosters mutual understanding and global connections. That is one of the great things about J1 visa. Another good thing about it is it has a wide range of participants. The J1 visa caters to a diverse group, including students, teachers, professors, interns, trainees, teachers, camp counselors, au pairs, and more. This inclusivity allows people from various backgrounds and with different goals to find a program that suits their interests and career aspirations. That's another reason why this is so amazing, because it has a wide range for everybody to be able to qualify. That's a wide range of participants. Number three reason why this is a great visa is what I call for professional development. J1 visas are great for professional development. Many J1 programs offer unparalleled access to training, research, and teaching opportunities that may not be available in your own country. So this significantly will significantly enhance your professional skills and career prospects. Because when you go through these programs, your CV is boosted up. That's another great reason why the J1 visa is a great visa out there. Another great reason why the J1 visa is great is the academic opportunities that it gives you. For students and scholars, the J1 visa opens doors to study at renowned institutions, engage in cutting-edge research, and participate in exchange programs that enrich the academic experience. In other words, there's so many academic opportunities available for you just by being part of this J1 program. If you are just joining us, we are talking about why is the J1 visa to the US a great option for you or for those who want to participate in it to the US. Why is the J1 visa a great option for you? And I already shared three reasons. Here is a fourth reason why I think it's a great visa for anybody to try to get: support and sponsorship. J1 visa applicants are sponsored by program sponsors that are already authorized by the U.S. Department of State. So these sponsors provide support before, during, and during the stay in the U.S., including assistance with visa application process, preparation for cultural exchange, and guidance on compliance with program requirements. Because this J1 visa thing is necessarily for those abroad who want to come to the US. So most organizations that are offering J1 programs, they are willing to help you with your visa application process, the preparation for the cultural exchange, and guidance with program requirements. So that even if you don't want to hire an attorney, they will help you through every process, every step of the way. That's why it's a great visa for you to check out if you're thinking of jackpotting to the US. How about that? Love that? Remember, this is 103.9 Law FM in Nigeria, and we are having a great time tonight on the J1 as an option, the J1 visa as an option to the US. Another reason why I like the J1 visa, or why you should like it, is flexibility. The J1 visa programs offer flexibility in terms of duration and scope. So programs can last from a few weeks to several years. So it accommodates the short-term visits for summer work. For those of you who might not really want to jackpot permanently, or maybe you don't have the permanent option yet, you want to go in there to do summer work and earn some dollars. It also has longer-term academic and professional engagement. So unlike most other visas, the J1 visa is flexible. You can use it for a few months, or you can use it for a few years, depending on what your option is and the programs that are available. How about that? Another reason why I love it is the opportunity for dependence. See, most other visas, some visas out there do not allow you to be able to bring your dependents along. But with J1 visas, you can bring your dependents, that is your spouse and children under the age of 21, to the US on what is called a J2 visa. So if you get a J1, you can bring your dependents, your wife and your husband, with your children under 21, and they will give them a J2. And in certain cases, J2 visa holders, that is this your dependents, they may even give them permission to work during their stay, further supporting the cultural exchange experience. Many dependents, that is the spouse and the children under 21 of a J1 visa holders, are able to apply for permission to work in special certain cases that your lawyer will work with you to be able to make sure you get that, where your dependents can work and then earn more dollars for you while you are in the J1 program. How about that? I love it. I love it. Another reason I love J1 visa for you, for those of you thinking of jackpotting in the near future, is networking. You cannot underestimate the power of networking and what it gets for you with the J1 visa. Because the J1 visa provides a platform to build a vast network of professional contacts and friends from around the world. Because people come from all over the world for these J1 visas. Even if you are going from Nigeria, for instance, you might get in there and see people from Japan, people from China, people from Europe, and you are able to enhance your professional networking through this program, which can become invaluable for future career opportunities and personal growth. So that's a great reason to look if you want to build your global contacts. Because after you train with some people for some months or a few years, you guys create your own connection down the road. And of course, a final reason I'll mention, because there's so many of them, but let me talk about one more. Another reason I like the J1 visa option is it is a pathway to other opportunities. It is true, the J1 visa itself is a non-immigrant visa and does not lead directly to green card. But the experience, skills, and connections gained can enhance your individual qualification for other visa categories or other opportunities in future. So it's a lead-in. It's a way for you to get in the proper way so that you're not just relying on the 30-day visa you get. And then the skills, the experience you acquire can then be used to parlay yourself into other visa categories or even to other green card opportunities. So the J1 visa offers a unique combination of cultural immersion, educational advancement, and professional development, making it an amazing, attractive option for those looking to experience life in the US while contributing to the exchange of ideas and understanding different cultures. Now you see why I love it. It gives you so much. There's so much opportunities, so much benefits that is attached to it. You are listening to Immigration Clinic with Okwe Banwo on Law FM 103.9, the number one station as far as law is concerned in Nigeria. And of course, you are listening to the best program on that station, Immigration Clinic with Okwe Banwo, where we break it down, what it takes to japa, why you need to japa, what you need to do before you japa, what you need to do after. And you want to keep it a date with us every Saturday as we bring it to you hot and sharp and live. All right, so the next question then is, who qualifies for J1 visa? Because, okay, you have heard how great this visa is, all the great things you get from it. But hey, do I even qualify? Am I even one of those people that can apply for this? I know that is a question that is in the mind of all of you looking at this right now. Am I a candidate? Because every visa to the US has its own qualification criteria. So the qualification for J1 visa, it varies depending on the specific exchange program. But generally, and I'm going to be discussing some of those exchange programs towards the end of this particular episode in a few minutes. But generally, those who qualify include students at all academic levels. Another reason why I love it. Now, that was even if you don't have a degree yet, even if you're in year 1 or year 2 or whatever, it's students at all academic levels that qualify. Trainees who are obtaining on-the-job training with firms, institutions, and agencies. Teachers of primary, secondary, and specialized schools, they qualify. Professors coming to teach and conduct research at institutions of higher learning, they qualify. Research scholars, trainees in the medical field and allied field. Remember, medical and allied fields. So it covers every area of medicine, chiropractor, whatever that you are in. Then it also covers international visitors coming for the purpose of observation, consultation, research, training, sharing, or demonstrating specialized knowledge or skills. So literally anything can qualify under this if you have a smart lawyer that is working with you. Because they put it in there, it's almost like an omnibus criteria here for those coming for observation, consultation, research, training, sharing, or demonstrating specialized knowledge or skills. You can almost qualify yourself for any of these. So those are those who qualify for the J1 visa. And I'm sure as you are listening to me, you are asking yourself, maybe this is something I can check out. Obviously, you want to talk to professionals to help you with this. And as I've said earlier, if you would like to do one-on-one discussion about the specifics for yourself and to ask me more questions about this J1 opportunity or any other visa options for you, please book an appointment at okpebanwo.net. It's only $100 for you to speak to me for an hour on Zoom, where I can answer all your questions concerning your JACPA intentions. It might also be that you have already JACPA and you're in trouble, or you want to ask, how do I transfer whatever visitor's visa I have? How do I change it to a green card or to a working visa? Things like that. Any question whatsoever that is personal to you, we will discuss it in a private and confidential Zoom call, 1 hour. Any question you have, bring it at that point, and I can also help you analyze whatever it is that you're thinking. Remember, you book the appointment at okpebanwo.net. Of course, I also have some great books that can help you to be able to understand your situation better, which is I have 4 books for 4 different countries that I think are most critical for everybody. I have UK visa without tears. Okay, UK immigration without tears. I have a USA visa without tears, which I cover every type of visa, working visa that is available in the US. The breakdown of all of them, right? They're in the dozens. In the UK one, I discuss every type of visa you can get to the US. The book itself is about is over 300 pages. What am I talking about? Over 500 pages for the one for the UK. I also have Canadian immigration without tears, as well as Australian immigration without tears. A lot of people are not focusing on Australia. Australia is desperately looking for immigrants. So I have those books, and you can purchase them at okpebanwo.net. Just go in there in that same link that you're going to use to book appointment with me. You can also order those books there. It will be delivered at your door. If you are booking from Nigeria, we will ship it to you. And if you're not from Nigeria, we'll send you a digital copy of it. They're also available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, but for a much more expensive price. We sell it out there, I think, at $49.99. But if you're buying it on this show through that link, I think it's only 10,000 naira that you're going to get it for, just to know. All right, okpebanwo.net to get your copy of any of those, my 4 immigration books, to help yourself by going in there, by going through all the visa options and what it takes to get them. You might be able to narrow yourself down to 2 or 3 that you think you qualify for, even before you book an appointment with the lawyer. So that way, when you are talking with the lawyer, you are asking him specifically, what about this one that is called EB1? I think I may be able to qualify. Let's talk about the requirements. So that way, your 1 hour is best utilized. Or you may buy the book and decide, I don't want to talk to a lawyer, because it's got everything broken down, the requirements, the documentation, what it is about, to solve your problem. I want you to get it just for yourself, or if you have somebody who's thinking about jackpotting. Don't just jackpot anyhow without getting yourself properly educated. That is where you run into problem, when you don't get the right information before you pick up that plane. Getting a visa alone is not good enough for you to just start rushing to the US, because you might get in here. If you don't do your homework well, you might get in here, and then even though you have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree or HND, you might end up having to be bagging grocery at Walmart because you did not plan your coming well. It happened to me. When I was immigrating many years ago, I'm talking 1995, I never thought about it. I just, I got a visa and I just started coming. It took me 2 years to sort myself out when I could have come in, basically even with a green card, because even then I would have qualified for EB1, EB2, and maybe about 7 other types of visa. L1 visa, I would have qualified for it without even any discussion. That would have allowed me to even bring myself, my wife, and my children, or I had one then, my child, to come with me. But I didn't know. I didn't ask anybody. I just got a visa, a visitor's visa. I started rushing. I got in here. Now to convert myself to a permanent resident, I have to do that one first. Then I have to then bring my wife and children, 2 of them, from Nigeria. I just had a baby before I traveled, and I had one before then. So it took me almost 2 years to be able to reunite myself with my family. And I'm one of the few lucky ones. Some people, that family will take them 7-10 years. And they get stranded in the US because if they go out, they can't come back since they don't have paper to stay here permanently. So some of them, their parents will die, they can't travel. Their wives will celebrate milestone, they can't travel because they don't have the paper, and their family can't come. Families have been broken apart because of that. Because after 2 years passed, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, even your wife that you left in Nigeria, somebody will be helping you to manage her, mostly. No woman is going to wait 7 years. A lot of women will, but you know how that is. Body is not leather. Same way if it is a woman that came and left the man in Nigeria, by the time you sort it out after 9 years, the man already probably had 3 kids from another woman because you didn't think straight. If you had gotten the right information, it could have been, it is you and your whole family that can come together. There are many visas that allow you to come with your family at one time. But how will you know that if you don't seek professional help or get the right book to go through it? Me, that I was already a lawyer in Nigeria, I already had a master's degree, I already ran a big company, several big companies before I came to the US. I didn't know that because I never asked anybody. I just came, I was so excited with my visitor's visa in 1995, and I rushed down, and it cost me dearly. Don't let that be your portion. Get the right information before you decide that you want to jackpot. That little money will cost you to speak to a lawyer probably might save you years of pain. I was just talking to somebody who's even in UK, in Nigeria, UK for more than 30 years. But what she really wanted to do was come to the US. In fact, she had citizenship in the UK after a while. She came to the US to have her kids 27, 28 years ago. She had 2 kids here. But because she didn't talk to the right lawyer, she never knew that her children could file for her to become a green card holder in the US because the children were with her in UK. So what those she was staying with had been telling her every time she comes to US a lot with a visitor visa from UK, obviously. What they were telling her is that unless the children were living here, they can't file for her. And that's what she believed. Until she called me one day and said, oh, we are great friends, by the way, great family friends. I never knew that she even wanted to relocate to the US. She never discussed it with me, even though she knows I'm a lawyer. Then she called me and said, I heard that there's this nursing team that can use to then relocate from UK to USA. I was even giving her advice about it. Then my wife said something that, is that not so and so? I don't want to mention my family friend's name here because it's not about her. It's about what everybody goes through. And she's like, yeah, I say, yes, she wants to come to the US with this nursing program. And she said, what about so and so? You mentioned the children. That why did the children not file for? Because the children are 26, 27 years old, if not more than that now, in fact, even older, right? Yes, they're even older than that. The children probably will be 30 or more. Then you come to me that it's true. What am I even saying? Because I just assume in my head that there's a particular reason why the children are not filing for their parents, because that is obvious, the number one obvious thing. So I asked, why is your kid not filing for you? You know what she told me? She said, no, they can't file for me now. They live in the UK with me, so they can't file. I said, no, they are American citizens. You have them here. Regardless of where they live, they can file for their mother. They can file for their father. And she almost went crazy because she has been trying to do this for more than 10 years. But she didn't know. And she's a very exposed girl. It's not as if she's an ignorant, whatever. This is a very well-educated lady who's a big-time nurse in UK. So it's not as if she's an illiterate. But you don't know what you don't know. That's why you want to talk to professionals. And I've told you want to book an appointment with me, okwebanwo.net. Even if you don't want to book it with me, make sure you talk to professionals who know what they're doing. Don't talk to touts who themselves don't have visa, but they're advising you how to get visa. That's when you already know that you are already entering one chance. Somebody who cannot get visa for himself is telling you how you are going to get the visa. No, talk to professionals. Either that's their practice or they've done this for so long and they themselves have been here. All right? Enough said about that. We want to talk about who qualifies for the J1 visa. See, sorry, yeah, but that was just I always like to tell some of these stories so that you know that it's not about how intelligent you are. It's about what kind of information are you getting. Some of you are out there, for instance, now. You had a business. You've been running businesses for a while. You didn't even know that your business can help you to bring you and your family to the US. You are still busy thinking about somebody in the US helping you. That's what the L1 visa is. I have talked about that several weeks ago. Or maybe you have a master's degree or you have graduated for more than 10 years. Even if you didn't have a master's degree, but you've been out of school for more than 10 years, but you have been working with your degree, you may not even be aware that you're entitled to the EB2 visa, which is a green card visa that allows you and your wife and your family to come. You don't even know what the EB2 visa is, but you're busy going to go try to get a visitor visa. You're paying some tax, 1 million naira, 2 million naira, just to be able to get a visitor's visa that you get denied anyway, most times. When you could easily apply for EB2 right here in America, it will be approved in the US here, and then you go to Nigerian embassy to get your green card. Not to even talk about EB1 for the ones among you that are really smart. So there's so many options out there that you may not be aware of because you did not talk to a professional. Please do that. Even if it's not with me, talk to somebody knowledgeable. All right, let's come back to the question I've had on the screen. I've been talking about who qualifies. I think we talked about that, but let me go over that with you again. I think I've talked about that already. Students at all academic levels, trainees who are obtaining on-the-job training with firms, institutions, and agencies, professors coming to teach or conduct research at institutions of higher learning, research scholars, those who are doing research, professional trainees in the medical and allied fields, international visitors coming for the purpose of travel, observation, consultation, research, training, sharing, or demonstrating specialized knowledge, that's the key word here, or skills. They qualify. Almost everybody can make an argument for themselves to qualify under this visa. All right, so then let's look at the requirements, which is similar. All right, remember you are listening to me. This is Okwebanwo with Immigration Clinic on Law FM 103.9. We call it Japa Without Tears. 103.9 calls it Clinic with Okwebanwo, the #1 station in Nigeria on law. And of course, you are listening to the #1 immigration program on that radio station. And we are talking about the J1 visa, in case you are just joining us, which is a visa that is literally open to any level of education, any level of preparation. So what are the requirements for you to be able to get this J1 visa? Let's talk about that briefly before we then go to some of those programs that can sponsor you for this. To qualify for the J1 visa, you must, of course, be accepted into an exchange visitor program. That is the key. You have to get an exchange visitor program through a designated sponsoring organization. There has to be an organization sponsoring you for this exchange program. I'm going to share some of them with you in the next few minutes. You must demonstrate that you plan to return to your home country after the completion of the program. It's one of those visas that require you to demonstrate that you have ties to your home country, that you do not intend to abandon. When you speak to a proper attorney, they will help you with how to document that. You also have to provide proof of sufficient funds to cover your expenses in the US. And you have to show proof that you can speak English, which is not a major problem with us in Nigeria. There is this exam that you take. You all know that you have to show proof of sufficient English language skills to participate in the program. And finally, if there's any medical insurance that you need to get for the duration of your stay. But don't worry so much about all of this. Once you are accepted into a program, they help you with a lot of this documentation because it's part of their process. What they are about is about helping people to come from a different country to come here. So most J1 programs, they even have immigration officer, immigration assistants in there as part of their program who will walk you and help you through some of these processes, even if you're not going to hire a lawyer like me, and that's fine. This is about me showing you opportunities that is out there that you can take advantage of. So J1 is one of those great opportunities, and I want you to check it out. Now, of course, the final thing I want to cover as my time begins to count down here, even though we have good time here to go, is what are these programs that can actually help me, okay, to get this visa. Examples of good J1 programs in the USA. There's literally hundreds of them, or let's even say dozens. I'm sure it's hundreds. So that when you search J1 programs in the US, even on the internet, you're going to get them. Or J1 programs in this field, whatever your field is. So that way you can narrow down to the J1 programs that are made specifically for people with your skill sets or people in your area of operation. But so that you can get some guidance, I will share a few of them with you before my time runs out. We are on 103.9 FM. It's called the Law FM, the #1 radio station in Nigeria on anything to do with law. So what are those programs, J1 programs that can help you or that can sponsor you, right? I'm just going to type out I'm going to read out the website. There is Fulbright program. This is for scholars and students. It's a very popular one. Fulbright program is a flagship international exchange program that is actually sponsored by the U.S. government. This is eca.state.gov/Fulbright. If you are listening to me on radio right now, it's eca.state, as in state of Nebraska, right? eca.state.gov/Fulbright. Fulbright is Fulbright. Please write it down and go check these things out. www.eca.state.gov/Fulbright. And if you can't remember it, maybe you are listening to me where you cannot write this one down, just go and Google Fulbright J1 program. That's all. Fulbright J1 program. Mr. Google will bring out all the information for you. Fulbright is Fulbright. They have an excellent program and they are always running year in, year out. They are always getting people from all over the world. You just might be accepted by them. The second one I want to talk about, apart from Fulbright, is what I call the Camp America. The Camp America program is it's a summer camp. They call it summer camp counselors. It provides international participants with the opportunity to work at American summer camps. Every year, all over America, in so many states, there are camps happening everywhere. And there are lots of J1 programs that allow you to come and volunteer in those programs to come and be, so that you can learn by exchanging with the people in that camp. Of course, they also make arrangements for how you are going to eat, where you are going to stay, and all of that, what allows you to get here. The website for Camp America is campamerica.co.uk. Camp America, exactly the way it sounds. www.campamerica.co.uk. And you can probably apply. Most of them, the application is free. And then if they accept you to the program, many of them will help you process everything that you need to come to the US. The next one I want to share with you is aupairinamerica.com. Au pair is AUPAIR in America.com. Au pairinamerica.com. AUPAIRINAMERICA.com. This is also another very, very, very popular program with lots of people qualifying for it everywhere. What does it do? It offers cultural exchange opportunities for international au pairs where you're going to stay with some families, more like assisting them and working and living with them to learn more about the culture of America. It's an amazing program. The au pair program has been around since forever. You want to check that out, and for all you know, you may just qualify. Remember, the J1 program is for everybody. You can practically be able to figure how you can qualify yourself in there based on what I've said. The next program that you want to check out for the J1 visa programs that might sponsor you is the Cultural Vistas program. Cultural Vistas is an internship and professional training program. There are so many of them. They're called the Cultural Vistas program, and you can find them at www.culturalvistas.org. It offers various internship and professional training programs across the U.S. Many states offer this Cultural Vistas program, and when you go to their site, you even be able to pick which state you want to go, which of the programs you want to sign up for, and once they accept you, you are halfway to getting yourself to America, because the rest of the process they will walk through with you. How about that? Do you guys want more? Let's talk about some more of them. IntraxGlobalInternships.com. IntraxGlobalInternships.com. This one gives you professional internship for international participants in a variety of industries. They pick several industries, which more than likely the one that you like will be there, right? Or the one that you are in. So in that industry, your internship with them be done. It's like maybe you are a lawyer, you are a medical doctor in training, you are a dentist, you are somebody who's even in the university. You are in year 2 in your university and you are studying chemistry, or you are year 3 in your university and you are studying whatever. Okay, you can check that and look for the industry that suits what you are studying or the profession that you are in, and then look for the program that is appropriate for you in there. How about that? If you are enjoying this show, I want you to be giving me a 10 wherever you are listening to this on the chat. If you are listening to this on the social media handles of Law FM 103.9, you want to give us a shout out there, make sure you tune in to 103.9 FM all day long for different things to do with law. But me, with Immigration Clinic, we're here with you once a week on Saturdays. Of course, they might end up also doing a replay of it at different times. So you want to make it a date with us to learn whatever new thing I'm teaching that week as far as visas are concerned. So the next program I want to introduce you to is the, I call it the Council of International Education Exchange. The Council of International Educational Exchange, CIEE. C for Charlie, I for India, E for Edward, E for Edward. And you're going to find them at www.ciee.org. ciee.org. This council offers a range of J1 programs, including work and travel, internship, and teacher exchange. This is particularly popular with teachers, those who teach in schools, whether it's secondary school or university or wherever. It offers a J1 program that is focused on teacher exchange. It gives internship, or it also includes those who are traveling, who just want to learn more about the culture in the US where that is concerned. Check out ciee.org to be able to see if there's a fit for you in the program they are doing, especially if you are a teacher. Particularly those are, there is the www.interexchange.org. www.interexchange, like international, interexchange.org, which offers, again, internship and training programs in the US for international participants. So you want to go to the site, look at the kind of people they are looking for. Every one of them will describe the kind of international visitor that they are looking for. Make sure you pick the one that is most suited to you, so that when it comes to being able to demonstrate that you qualify, you are not going to be needing to go and be generating paper that don't exist. Take your time to find the one. There is something for everybody. I don't care the industry that you're in. I don't care what interests you. And remember, for the J1, you don't need to have a university degree. It just has to be, you just have to understand that this is a training program to provide you opportunity for cultural, to learn more about the culture, about America. So pick the one that is most suited to you so that you don't have to struggle when it comes to the time to demonstrate your qualification. Let's take another program out there, www.AIFS Abroad. AIFS, A for India, oops, A for America, I for India, F for Frank, S for Sam, abroad. AIFSabroad.com. AIFSabroad.com. Another great J1 program out there. It provides study abroad programs for international students in the US. So this takes people from all over the world, including Nigeria, including Ghana, including London, anywhere. They take from all over the world for a study program abroad. So you want to check them out, AIFSabroad.com. I don't know if you see, I still have time to share a couple more with you. All right. There is the interngroup.com, www.interngroup.com. It offers internship programs in major US cities in different career fields. So whatever career you are in, more than likely the intern group has a J1 program for it. So go check them out, the interngroup.com. And I think I will mention one more so that at least I give at least 10 here before we start to wrap up this program. There is the iesabroad.org. 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 This one provides internship opportunity also for international students in various ways. So you have to be a student to qualify for this at whatever level. At whatever level of studentship that you're in, you should be able to qualify for this program itself. So check them out. Look deeply at their qualifications, what they're looking for, and then try to make sure you pick the one that is most suited for you. There's the USASummerCamp.com. USASummerCamp.com, one of the most popular J1 programs out there. This is an organization that places international participants in summer camps for counselor and support staff roles. They focus on trying to bring you to the US for summer camps, like one of the ones I mentioned earlier, for you to work in the role of camp counselor and support staff for those programs so that you can learn the culture of the people while at the same time you're providing services from your own cultural perspective to them. Remember, it's an intercultural exchange. So you want to check out www.usasummercamp.com to be able to see whether this might be a great program for you. There is also the exploreaces.org. Exploreaces.org. Exploreaces.com. They actually call them ACES. That is American Cultural Exchange Service. That's what it's called, ACES. American Cultural Exchange Service. And you can see them at exploreaces.org. They provide opportunities for cultural exchange, including high school programs and short-term cultural exchange. So even high school people, you can get yourself to the US at least through this J1 by seeing if you qualify for that. I have so many of them still there. Like I said, there are literally hundreds. Unfortunately, I can't go through all of them in this short program as my time begins to run out here. Just know that this is another great opportunity out there for those of you who are willing and ready to come to the US and they want to do it right, not just coming with a 30-day visa, then disappear into the system and then be hoping that somehow you're going to get the green card later or you get a work permit. Many get trapped in the system that way. I will end this program by continuing to encourage you. For some of you, your time to jackpot is not yet ready. Maybe you still need to do some work. Maybe you don't even need to jackpot at all. I don't know. We talk about different programs, different opportunities that you may explore instead of just leaving the country. But if you have determined you are going to leave, please live right. Do your own work before you leave. And some of the homework you have to do is, what am I going to do when I get there? If I'm planning to go and not come back, what is my plan to switch from this visa that I get? Even if it's a visitor's visa you got, what is my plan to switch to a more convenient visa that will allow me and my family to be there, or that will allow me to work? You have to think it out before you leave Nigeria, because sometimes you have to do some things in Nigeria before you leave. I have lots of clients like that, where after we have had that consultation and they have told me their plans and we have looked at the different options for them, we have looked at the option they're going to get in, how are they going to convert to green card later, then they realize that they have to do some things for me in Nigeria before they leave. They have to get some documentation, they have to get me some pictures, they have to get me so many things, several things, so that when they get in here, they can seamlessly transition into a legal status instead of allowing their status to expire. Don't do that, because if your visitor visa expire, you get trapped in the system. We are not like UK, where they will come to your house and come and be looking for you, or other places. From what I hear, they rarely do that here. But you don't want to be trapped in the situation where you can't work legally. That means your qualifications become useless. Since you can't work legally, you cannot present your certificates. So you are going to be trying to work under the table where somebody will be paying you. And when you do that, they are never going to pay you your worth. Or worst case, you want to be using the paper of somebody that you know. More and more people will not let you use their paper anymore. The people get in trouble. So the next thing you know, you are just surviving on the system. Your loved ones are stranded at home. They can't see you because they don't have papers to come. You don't have papers to go to them. Then your family becomes a phone conversation. It becomes a WhatsApp family. You don't want to do that. When you get stranded like that, it means you didn't do your own work before you left your country. Even if you already got a visa, don't rush it. Talk to professionals. Oh, I already got a visa. I want to come to the US. What are my options to be able to properly convert to a visa that allows me to work, or that will allow me to bring my spouse and children? That is, if you're already married and you have kids, you want to be thinking about them before you get here. You don't want to start thinking about them after you're already here. It will cost you years. By all standards, I was very qualified for most of the visas when I got here, but I didn't know about it. And when I got here, it took me time to then get the documentation I need to get, all the stuff I need to qualify. Meanwhile, my newly married wife, I came to America, I think less than 2 years after getting married. My wife had just had a baby. My baby was 3 months old when I left Nigeria. And it took 2 years before they can reunite with me. And I was an immigration lawyer. Of course, I didn't become an immigration lawyer, the one that I got in here. I have to first go struggle to go sit for the bar. That cost me over a year to get my stuff, and before I start struggling for my family. It wasn't pleasant, and I'm one of the lucky ones. My wife and children were able to join me in less than 2 years. Many people who do it like that, it costs them 5 years, 10 years, some of them never. I'm not joking with you. So you need to make sure you tidy up properly. Talk to professionals. I encourage you to book an appointment to talk with me about your jackpot ideas, about your jackpot dreams. Okay, okpebanwo.net, or go to that same place and get your a copy of the Immigration Without Tears. I have one for UK, for USA, for Australia, and for Canada. Whichever of those countries interests you, get the book and make sure you study it. I discuss each of the visa one by one, the breakdown. The UK one was even more than 100. US was like, I don't know, like 40 visas that I discussed. Australia, more than 50 or 100. So you will find a visa you qualify for there other than just a visitor visa. And then you start working from there. It's been an experience. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Remember, you are listening to this on Law FM 103.9, the #1 radio station when it concerns anything to do with law in Nigeria. And of course, you are listening to the very best program on Law FM itself, Immigration Law Clinic with Dr. Okpebanwo. I look forward to seeing you next week. If you have any questions about this J1 that I've explored today, or you have anything or any question that is not even related to this, post it on their site so that we can answer your questions. Typically, they compile all those questions that have been sent in to them. If you can't ask it live on this show because where you are just listening, just send it in. I will try my best to answer those questions at the right time. God bless you so much. I will be seeing you on the next program. Remember, plan before you japa, or you will get here and you'll be using your master's degree to buy grocery at Walmart. You don't want that for yourself. You don't want it for your family. You don't want to be stranded in the immigration system in America. You want to come in here to be able to booga with whatever it is you got, to be able to go back to your country and still be able to come here if you want. You are all going to be leaving aged parents behind. You are going to be leaving family behind. You want to be able to go at a moment's notice without fear that you'll be locked out of America. God bless you so much. This is Dr. Okpebanwo, and I will be seeing you on the next episode of Japa Without Tears or Immigration Clinic with Okpebanwo on 103.9 Law FM.